Hey y'all, Natalie here today, and I'm using the Limitless kit for September 2022 from Not Just for Boys Kit Club. And the name of this kit is called Brilliance. For this month in our Facebook group, we have a little challenge to use alphas in a unique or unusual way on your page. So the way that I am using my alphas is to cut my photos into the shape of the alphas. So I have printed off 4 2x3 photos of my little guy, Lachlan. His name is Lachlan, Lachlan. And you can see down there in the white, I found a really fat font, and on my Cricut, I cut out his name in that really fat font. And now I'm going to use them as templates to cut the photos out. So it's a little bit hard to tell if you maybe didn't know what his name was, but I think you can tell that the photos are cut into shapes. And then up close in real life, I think maybe it's a little more obvious. But yeah, I thought that this would be a unique way to use alphas. So I just stuck the template over the photo, and I'm just like holding it there with my fingers while I cut around it with my scissors. You could also trace around it if you wanted to. I had 8 photos. He only has 7 letters, so I just picked, shaped them all out to see which would look best on which photo. And I discarded the extra photo. It wasn't that great of one anyway. And then I used the templates. I just gave them to him, and he was very excited to have those letters of his name cut out, and he made art with them. And then he made me let him stick it on his door. It's a sign, so everybody knows it's his room, he says. This kid's a hoot, y'all. So there it is. You can see I have all the letters laid out, and my photos were taken in the pool. So you have the blue pool, and then he was on a green float. So this Brilliance kit works so fabulous for that. So I'm just going through the 12x12 papers that came in the kit to decide which background paper I want to use. And I'm flipping through all of them. I did a unboxing earlier. I'll link that down below if you'd like to go see everything up close. But I decided to go with this last paper here, this ombre gradient paper. It's called, I think this one is called Cotton Candy. It's 49th and Market Spectrum Sherbet Collection. And I just adore the way that looks. So I'm going to do some mixed medium. So I remove the photos, and I'm going to use this white gesso, and I'm just going to create like a little rectangle in the middle of the page. And I lay my photos out to see exactly how long I want it to be, because I definitely want all the mixed media to peek out from around the photos. I'm going to use a palette knife to apply the white gesso, but then I'm going to go in and smooth it out with my fingers, because I want a nice, like, light, maybe is the right word, finish to it. I don't want to be able to see like the palette knife marks. And sometimes I do. It just is preference, and it just kind of depends on what look I'm going for. But in this case, the paper already has like so much kind of like a distress or mixed media look on it. So I definitely wanted it to kind of be soft. So let that dry, but I don't think I'll let it dry long enough, and you'll see what I mean here in a minute. But I stick down the retro diamond stencil that comes in the kit, and the kit also has this little bottle, and they are called Vintage Nouveau Drops in the colors Emerald Isle. But I'm not going to use them as drops. I'm going to use them through the stencil. So I could have applied it directly onto the stencil, but I didn't want it to stick up in there. Like, I wanted it to only stick through the holes. So I just applied it onto my glass mat, and then I'm going to pick it up from there. And I don't fully cover the entire area. I just want it to kind of be splotchy, but you can see what I mean. I guess my gesso wasn't fully dry yet because it kind of ripped up the paper, but these 49th and Market papers are so thick and luxurious that it is okay that it ripped it a little bit. I can hide it with a die cut, and it still didn't like rip a hole in the paper or anything like that. But make sure that all your gesso is dry before you stick a stencil down on it. Pro tip. But I'm loving the way that Emerald Isle looks like through. There you can see it up close. I let it dry. And I like how some of the diamonds show through fully covered, and some of them are only partially covered. That just distressed look. So now I'm just using some bottled watercolors to make some drops on the page. I chose a lime green color, and then I chose like a blue turquoisey color that kind of matches the color in the photos, just to add another layer of mixed media and depth onto the background. just a little bit more of some interest. So now I'm going in with the blue here. And I wanted kind of like smaller ones, so I'm not really like letting it drip off the thing. I'm just tapping it with my paintbrush to get the smaller splatters. I also recommend moving your photos further away from the page. But I let that dry, and I'm just showing you a little up close. And now I'm going to lay out his name, spelled correctly, I hope. It's going to be on 2 lines, but that's okay. It's 2 syllables, so that works out for me. So that's the look I'm going for. I think I'm just trimming them up here. I had a little bit of the white showing through from like the way that they were bordered. But then I'm going to use some pop dots when I stick them down. I'm going to use some foam dots. Oh, I started to go through the die cut pack. So in the kit, we get the 49th and Market Spectrum Sherbet Tidal Wave ephemera bits. Y'all, this thing is so full. I think it says it has 95 pieces. I mean, it has so many die cuts. It's a really great deal to get these die cuts. And so you definitely can layer up to your heart's content, and you will not run out anytime soon. So there I'm just applying the foam dots to my alphas / my photos, and I'm gonna go ahead and stick those down so I can start kind of layering up the ephemera bits. A lot of times I back my photos, but since these were already cut into alphas, I didn't really feel like going and adding like white cardstock and cutting around them all again. And I kind of like the way that they look, and I have the white background, so I'm cool with it. So there's his name. Yeah, I'm loving that, really. And shout out to my friend Kira she's on Instagram as Kira Gets Crafty. This was totally her idea, because I was like, help me come up with an idea for a way to use alphas in a unique way. And like, she immediately was like, cut your photos into alphas. And I'm like, you're a genius. And she was right. It turned out so fabulous. And I'm gonna finish off, that's like, his name is going to be part of the title. It's going to say Lachlan Livin His Best Life. So I chose 2 of the solid tags from the ephemera bit, and I'm going to use these Doodlebug alphas that come in the Brilliance Limitless kit, and that's going to spell the rest of the title. So I just use my stamping block to kind of house all the letters, go ahead and get them out. And then I'm going to arrange them on the little tag. So I kind of just like cockeyed the tag. I did adhere it together with some tape, and then I added a ribbon. And the alphas are running off of the edges a little bit, but that's okay. And I am going to pop that up on some foam dots as well, so that it will be at the same level as my photos. So, bam, there it is. Lachlan living his best life, because he's just floating around the pool living his best life over here. And now I'm going to start layering up with the tidal wave ephemera. So I love the circle bits that come in there, and they have little arrows in the middle, and they all like say different things around the edges. And so I like that you can mix and match them. So I just chose 3 different colors there, and I used that to hide the little rip that I created on the paper earlier. And I'm going to use a couple of these little like labels here and tuck them around the photos and under the photos. I'm going to layer that up there. You'll see me finish that off here in a minute. Yeah, and I wanted to at least add 1 more of those arrows onto the page so that I didn't have just 1 lone arrow. So that's going to go on top of the photos. And it has a really good mix of like things with words on them and things that are blank. Really great for stamping. You'll see me stamp here in a minute. And this one, I'm going to date stamp onto that little tab, and then I'm going to layer it up onto that other label and use my tiny attacher to stick it together. And that's just going to go on the bottom layer, kind of tucked under some of the photos. I'm going to post down below with a link to grab your own Limitless kit for September. This one is titled Brilliance, and it's so good. Again, I'll put my unboxing down below as well, so you can see all of the parts that come in the kit. It's a really great value, and it's a beautiful coordinated kit that Mary and Paula put together. So I really want to use this tag up here. but it's big and I'm struggling with it. I'm like, oh, it looks too big. And then I'm like, wait a minute, I can fix that, right? So you see me playing around with it for a little bit. And then I decide, like, Missy always taught me, make your embellishments work for you. And I thought, well, why don't I just cut it down to make it smaller? Like, that's all I need it to be, is just a little shorter. So I just chopped off the top and I added an additional hole, and then I still have like the tag part of it, but it's just a little shorter and it's going to fit nicely in that area where I want it. So I'm just going to add some additional embroidery thread, just like I did down at the bottom tags. So I have like a little thread at the top and a little thread at the bottom, and I like that balance. I'm going to tuck it under that photo with some more of those circles. I love those circles. I love layering in with different colors. So these are an add-on to the Brilliance kit, and it matches gloriously. And it is enamel dots. They're by Alta New, I think. And I'm sorry, I don't know the name of them, but they are in the blog post, and I'll link down below to the blog post too. But something about C. But they are in the add-on section of the website where you can go buy your Brilliance kit. And so I'm just sprinkling them around the page in all different colors. And they even have a few that are like stars and hearts, which I wish they had a little bit more of those because they're super cute. But I sprinkled those around. And I think we're getting close to the end here. So check out those links down below to go grab that. Oh, I am going to add a little bit more up here. So I told you these labels are super great for stamping. So I grabbed some of my favorite Heidi Swap stamp set. And I think it says Sunshine State of Mind because we were in the pool on a sunny day. So I grab out the same or some lime. It's similar to the watercolor that I used in the background. And I'm just testing the stamp on the back side of the label before I actually stamp on the label, making sure I'm getting an even stamp. And I stick that down and I'm loving it. And I'm gonna just tuck it in there behind the photos. And it has a little bit of section that is not stamped or doesn't have anything on it. So that'll be a great place to anchor another enamel dot or die cut. Oh, actually, that's what I do. I add a butterfly. I wasn't going to use the butterflies, but it just fits so perfectly there. So I did add it. I, fluffed out the wings and just stuck down the middle part. And then I decided to add in another one at the bottom. I would add 3, but my only complaint with these collection die cuts is that the butterflies are all the exact same. So they're different colors, but they're not different sizes. So if they had a smaller one, that would make me really thrilled, and I would have done like a nice visual triangle. But it's okay. It's still beautiful and I love it. So if anyone from 49th Market is listening, take note. I'm just kidding. I know that's not possible. Thank y'all for watching. Please like and subscribe and check out the links down below. Bye y'all.